Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers across the World Wide Web. What up, y'all? What's up? What's up? It's Tune 215. And right now I'm doing this live stream just so I can help some of my fellow people who probably don't understand the breakdown of a Philadelphia map. I'm about to get to it for y'all. I will give a disclaimer. I do apologize for not replying. I'm not going to be replying to any of the live comments. I'm just doing this strictly so I can explain it to y'all, and then I'm going to end the stream. So we have a map here. I'm just setting up the camera on a tripod just so that I don't have to hold it. Give me a second, guys. Boom. Let me see. I think like right there. That's cool. All right, y'all. So we can both agree that this is the Philadelphia map, right? You can go on Google. You can look at the Philadelphia map. Boom. You pull it up. Easy. You can zoom in and zoom out. Anybody has access to this. I didn't really understand this until I started learning about the map a few years ago myself. And I'm born and raised in Philly, right? So this is how it works. You go to Google, you type Philadelphia. You click the map, you zoom in, right? Look at this is the outline of Philly. I'm going to center it out for y'all. Hopefully y'all got a good view. This is the outline, right? We have a funky outline. We're not necessarily a square, rectangle. We're like a weird shape. You see it? Like a weird shape. So we're going to zoom in. We're going to zoom a little closer right there. All right. So I want to show you guys this little paper diagram that I drew. It's a really simple diagram, but it makes sense, right? When you look at a compass, what do you have? You have north, south, then you have, let me use a pen because I don't want to put my finger in it. You have north, south, and you have northeast, you have northwest, you have southwest, you have southeast, you have west, you have east, correct? And this is the center, correct? All right, so we're going to use that same rule on the map. We're going to use the same rule. We're going to zoom in and we're going to find Center City. We want to find Center City, Philadelphia, because Center City, Philadelphia marks the center of Philadelphia, PA. So we're going to come over here and we're going to zoom in. Boom. Philadelphia, City Hall. This is Center City, right? So we're going to zoom out just a little bit. Market Street is going to be this line right here. You see this line right here that crosses? That's Market Street. Now, right here, this, let me use a pen because you guys don't know what I mean when I say this. This line right here is Broad Street, right? The equivalent of Broad Street is this line right here. So you could consider Broad Street and then you could consider Market Street. Those are the central lines, hence leading us to Philadelphia City Hall, right? So that's Center City. Now, I know a lot of people don't understand when I say North Philadelphia West or North Philadelphia East. A lot of people don't really understand the concept. They're saying, no, Tune, North Philadelphia East. You got it wrong. It's just North Philly, bro. Northeast Philly is something completely different. You're absolutely right. But I didn't say Northeast Philadelphia. Northeast Philadelphia is way up here on the northeast corridor of the map. Let's zoom out. You see how it says Northeast Philadelphia right here? That's the northeast section of the city. Now let's go focus on North Philadelphia. Let me break down the North Philadelphia West, because if you look at the map, you'll see it yourself. Pull out your phone. I don't care where you at watching this. When this video is done, look at it yourself. See if what I'm talking about is accurate. So you got Market Street. Remember we talked about Market being the center. Then you got Vine Expressway and all that. So let's zoom out just a little bit before we get to Lehigh. Lehigh Avenue is up here. I'm using a pointer. I'm using the arrow. I don't know if y'all can see there's a little arrow right there. So if y'all can't see that arrow, I'm going to use this occasionally so y'all can feel me. So we already agreed that City Hall is Center City, right? All of this corridor right here is this right here, Center City, Philadelphia, right? When you move up to about, I would say, where we at? We're at Girard right here. Girard. So Girard and up to, I would say, Washington. Let's reverse back. Let's go to South Philadelphia. Washington Ave. That's still all considered Center City, Philadelphia. But you got North Philadelphia Central. So this is the center line. Anything above this, can we agree that is north? Yes, right? I don't care what side above this, it's still the northern hemisphere. And the same would apply for the lower half, southern hemisphere. So if we're still in the central portion, you have, let me go back to City Hall right here. So once you pass City Hall, you're on the northern portion of the map. However, you're still central. You're still central. Central, I believe it depends on, I guess, who you're talking to, whether it's zoning or a precinct. But central Philadelphia north is to about Cecil B. Moore, Gerard Cecil B. Moore. That can be considered central Philadelphia north. When you talk about North Philadelphia west and you talk about North Philadelphia east, you're using the center line, which is, remember Broad Street. Broad Street separates west from east. You're using that to separate, right? So as you can see here on the map clearly tells you North Philadelphia west, North Philadelphia east, correct? Wait. But let's go up because we got Upper North Philadelphia. You see Upper North Philadelphia? But wait, there's more. You zoom in. All right, let's bring it down just a little bit. Around 16th Street, around 16th Glenwood, it's actually classified. Let me see if I can zoom in. Because if you don't zoom in to the right portion of it, I got Upper North, right here, boom. North Philadelphia. You see how everything is categorized differently? Now, if we keep into consideration, I wish this was a transparent piece of paper, right? If you're in Fairhill, if you're in Ludlow, if you're in Hunting Park, if you're in, let's say, Old Kensington, West Kensington, if you're in, let's say, Strawberry Mansion, you understand? If you're in these sections over here, if you're what I just said, Ludlow or Hunting Park, or let's say, well, Junietta starts working northeast, Feltonville, that's North Philadelphia east. This is the east corridor of North Philadelphia. Boom. I zoom in a little bit so we can see where it says right here. You see? Let me back this up. North Philadelphia east. So as long as it's on that side, you're still part of North Philly, but you're just on the eastern half of North Philly. You still repping North Philly. You're just on the eastern part of North. Now, if you from, let's say, Strawberry Mansion, let's say if you from like the Cecil B. Moore neighborhood or Brewery. Now, Brewery Town is probably a little close to the central line of it, but it's still cool. If you're in let's say, let me zoom in a little bit more. I'm sorry, guys. Like Sharswood, perfect example, right? Those are considered North Philadelphia, the western portion of it. Now, it's not West Philly. West Philly is once you cross the Schuylkill. This is West Philly, Winfield Heights, Overbrook Park, and so on. And then you get down further south, then you start hitting Southwest, and so on, right? But when you say North Philadelphia West, when you say Strawberry Mansion located in North Philadelphia West, that's because it's on the North Philadelphia West corridor, right? When you say Fairhill, located in North Philadelphia East, boom, that's in the North Philadelphia East section of the corridor. Now, when you go a little further up, you get Upper North Philadelphia, right? Because you're starting to get more towards the northern portion. Not only do you get more towards the northern portion, you start to work your way towards northwest. And what is located in northwest? Germantown. You got East Falls, East Germantown, Roxborough, Manayunk. And then you get the deep northwest Philadelphia. Now, don't confuse northwest Philadelphia for the western portion of North Philadelphia. Don't confuse northeast Philadelphia, which is way up here, Fox Chase, Ronhurst, and all those cool places, Rockledge, for North Philadelphia East, which is, let me bring it down, over here, you see? So, you see this little thing right here? This is North Philadelphia East. Now, Philadelphia doesn't really have like an east-east. You don't ever hear anybody say, yo, I'm from East Philly. Yo, what part of Philly you from? Oh, I rep East Side. Nobody really reps the east side of Philadelphia. And remember in the beginning, we was talking about the shape of the map. You see, we don't really even, like low-key, we don't even really have an E. Now, technically, if Camden was still connected to us, I always said, because if you look at Camden, Camden is row homes. Camden looks like the hood. Camden is very similar to Philadelphia. The only thing that separates us is the water. If Camden was a part of us, Camden low key would have probably been our East Philadelphia. But because we have the water separating us, Camden's not our East Philadelphia. The closest thing we got to East Philadelphia is probably like Port Richmond. You got Old Richmond. Once you get up to Bridesburg, give me 1 second, guys. I'm live. I'm recording a video. All right, give me a second, guys. All right, guys. I'm sorry. It was just a lot of noise. Once you get to the eastern portion, so I'm gonna show you. Give me a second, guys. The eastern portion, the neighborhoods that we got that run along the water is like Port Richmond. You got Fishtown. People don't even consider Fishtown East Philadelphia, but Fishtown probably could be considered like that's the closest thing east. Northern Liberties pretty closer, to the east side. You see, the east side of Philadelphia is running right by this water right here. You see it? Boom. You see it? So when I say North Philadelphia East, you see North Philadelphia East, that's all of the neighborhoods that lie in North Philadelphia East. Yorktown, Ludlow, you got Fairhill, West Kensington, East Kensington, Kensington. There's Old Kensington down here. Don't forget about Old Kensington, which is the part that's been gentrified way before. There's when I say there's 4 Kensingtons, most people don't even realize there's 4 separate neighborhoods of Kensington. Where that crisis is happening that you guys see on many videos, you see McPherson Square right here. That's in just, you could say the northern portion of Kensington, because you got East Kensington right here. East Kensington's been gentrified. West Kensington has been on its way of gentrification for the last 15 years. Old Kensington, or AKA South Kensington, is right next to Fishtown. So you come down here, you see Old Kensington. I'm not making this stuff up. This is a whole separate neighborhood, Old Kensington. This has been gentrified many years ago. This has been gentrified since like the 2000s. So one of the first ones to get gentrified was Old Kensington. And then one of the second ones to get gentrified was East Kensington. Close to East Kensington was West Kensington. But as you can see, they're all on the North Philadelphia East corridor. Now, the Kensington you guys are familiar with, the one with the notorious reputation, is the last one on the gentrification list. That's more northeastern. Now, Northeast Philadelphia doesn't really start till Juniata, Frankfurt area. Juniata, Frankfurt, that's when you can say that's like lower northeast, Bridesburg, Frankfurt. Kind of low key, that's like lower northeast. The deeper you go, when you get to like Wissanoming, you get to Coney, you get to Mayfair, you get to Oxford Circle, that's northeast. You see right here, boom, northeast. You understand? There's over 100 plus neighborhoods in Philadelphia, PA, in different sections of the city, right? Now let's go to South Philadelphia so you guys can see what I'm talking about. You got South Philadelphia, right? South Philadelphia. So if we use the same rule, right? We use the same rule, same thing that I just taught you how to look at the map, right? We put this right, remember, you got City Hall, right? North Philly and all that, right? So you look down on South Philly. South Philly, it says South Philadelphia here. Now, Central South Philadelphia, like I said, is before Washington Ave. So anything from Washington Ave to about City Hall, all of those center city neighborhoods, that could be considered like Central Philadelphia East. Or east is this way, Central Philadelphia West. You understand? Once you cross over Washington, that tends to get to like true South Philadelphia. And in South Philadelphia, the same rule would apply. On this side, what do you have? You see it down here? What do you see you have right here? South Philadelphia West. It's not Southwest Philadelphia, but it's the west side of South Philadelphia. You don't get to Southwest Philadelphia until you cross what? The Schuylkill River. Then you get to Elmwood Park, Eastwick, and before you hit Derby and all that cool stuff. But you look on this side, then you have South Philadelphia East. So if you look at some of the neighborhoods that are in South Philadelphia East, you got Whitman, you got Lower Moyer-Mensing, you got, well, let me see, the Dickinson Narrows. Make sure the Dickinson Narrows. Yeah, the Dickinson Narrows is right after Washington, so that's considered South Philadelphia East, past Yonge Square, and so on. So it's not Southeast Philadelphia, but it's South Philadelphia, the East Corridor. You understand? Now, if we would have had a Southeast Philadelphia, which we do not have a Southeast Philadelphia, the closest thing we got to Southeast Philadelphia will probably be like, look at South Philadelphia East. Let me scroll down just a little bit for you guys. Look at, so follow Broad Street straight down. If you go straight down to Broad Street, you end up hitting the shipyard. There's a shipyard down here. If you guys haven't checked out my Broad Street top to bottom tours, I did Broad Street top to bottom on many occasions, southbound to northbound, on a few occasions, a few different years. So you guys can see different Broad Street videos. But you go down to the South Corridor, you hit the shipyard. There's really no Southeast Philadelphia. You look right here. I don't know if you guys are still following this little teeny weeny arrow right here. There's still no Southeast Philadelphia. You see, Southeast Philadelphia would have probably been like Brooklawn, Gloucester City, Mount Ephraim. That's all Jersey stuff, though. The Delaware River is what separated us. You understand? That's what separates Pennsylvania from New Jersey. So we don't have a Southeast Philadelphia. We do have a South Philadelphia East. We do have a South Philadelphia. We do have a Southwest Philadelphia. We do have a West Philadelphia. We have a Northwest Philadelphia, a North Philadelphia, Northeast Philadelphia. Remember, there's even Upper North Philadelphia. Remember, see how it classifies it? So whenever you are curious and understand, most people don't really know this stuff, and I didn't know it either until I started looking at the map. You know what I mean? A lot of people felt controversy about, like, and sometimes, you know, I would do a video and I'd be like, I'll do a video. Let's say I do a video in example. I do a video in like Fairhill, which is, you know, one of the tougher neighborhoods in the city with a tough rep. Or I do like West Kensington. They'd be like, and I title the video, let's say North Philadelphia Hoods, right? Because it's one of the North Philadelphia Hoods. When you look at the map, anything that's up top of this corridor, which is what market, right, is northern. It's all northern. Now, we just differentiated central northern from eastern, western, upper, lower, etc. Because you got upper North Philadelphia, then you got lower North Philadelphia, which is a little lower that. It's a little after North Philadelphia. There's an actual neighborhood called North Philadelphia that is, see right here, boom, you see North Philadelphia. And when you get to like Glenwood, you'll see the train. There's a train right there on Broad Street, and there's a big old sign that says North Philadelphia, because that's true north. Like if you look at the map, that's like, you know, that's straight in the line of north. But that doesn't discredit anything over here on the Eastern Corridor, because that's still north. Same would go for Allegheny West and for Strawberry Mansion and so on. They are still North Philadelphia, but they're on the Western Corridor. So, you know, I hope this little informational video helped you guys out. I thought it'd be useful because there's a lot of confusion when it comes to the directions of the city. Feel free to use your phone, you know, look at a map, zoom in, explore. You got ultimate resources at the tip of your fingers. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts. If you already knew this, cool. If you didn't know this until now, let me know. It's cool. Don't feel bad because, you know, I didn't grow up knowing this. I learned this in my adult years, but it's good information to know. So if you ever, you know, need to navigate, or if you ever hear anybody refer to like North Philadelphia East and think they're crazy, no, they're not crazy. That's actual legit information. So thank you guys all for watching. I'm sorry I did not reply to any comments because this was just a straight to the point live, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. Show some love. This is your homeboy, Toonie Magooney, Toon Dollars. You already know, Toon be chillin', Toon 215. Please consider subscribing, turning on that notification bell, and I'm tuning out.